So Ailin Perez involved in a Wild Fight Week brawl at the Performance Institute. Joselyne Edwards choked out by male coach. And it's like, hold on, what just happened here? And that, yeah, you see the shiner on Perez right there. That's what I'm talking about. Got opened up, but you could see there's like stitches, dude, still on her eye. So that's one of the questions. How is Ailin Perez allowed to fight by the Nevada State Athletic Commission with stitches in her eyes? I mean, I feel like that's a little unsafe. AJ, what do you think?
I feel like that's should be probably the biggest question going forward for how in the world, because obviously she doesn't have to disclose it. You can see it on her eye right there. Those are live stitches. I don't know how this got past the medical clearance or athletic commission or anything. It's interesting. I'm sure they did some poke tests, make sure it wasn't bleeding on its own. But it's a live cut with legitimate stitches. It's very interesting. And then how this whole thing unfolds is even crazier.
Exactly. So let's just kind of talk about it a little bit, man. I'm going to summarize this. I'm not going to read a block of text to you guys, but there's a bunch of different conflicting stories. This is kind of the point. And I want to know your perspective, AJ, because this is just, I don't think that you need to be a fighter to have opinion on this, and I think this just goes to what's right and what's wrong, right? So maybe there's a little bit of beef between Joselyne Edwards and Ailin Perez, right? Maybe they're at the PI where there's octagons and this is your gym setting and you say, what's up? You got a problem? Like, let's settle this right now. Maybe the coach was the one instigating the situation from the jump, trying to get these two fighters to fight, right? And maybe somebody sucker punched somebody. I don't know, and it's really unclear. Like, was it Joselyne Edwards that just sucker punched Ailin Perez, and then Perez's coach jumped on her and choked her? And I don't know, but this is what's interesting. So there's all of these different perspectives. And then let me see. Alex Davis, MMA manager Alex Davis right here. He gives an interesting story. So this is the guy, Javier Oyarzabal. Apologies. I know I butchered that crucially, but just this is the point. That's the guy who was choking, right? So this is what Alex Davis says. I was sitting on the large octagon inside the PI looking at my phone when I heard yelling to my right. When I approached the cage, I saw Ailin and her coach on top of Joselyne, so I jumped in to break the fight. When I went to help out and saw the male coach choking Joselyne with a rear naked choke, it was very deep. He was cranking on the choke. If the choke was held on for much longer, it would have been a terrible scene, which goes to show when you choke somebody and they're pretty much asleep, you don't need to continue choking them. That's where problems happen. I'm not sure if she was fully conscious or fully unconscious, but she was close. So I'm not sure if she was fully unconscious, but she was close. When I got the coach off of Joselyne, the coach was ranting and yelling, trying to continue the fight. I was trying to calm Joselyne down because she thought she was still fighting. So she probably did get slept. You know what I mean? Because you wake up and you're still in fight or flight mode. And whoever's in front of you, you're doing something. So the whole entire point of this debacle here, AJ, is that you have a male coach who is trying to protect his fighter or instigate something with his fighter. And even if it's a defense situation, you rear naked choke a female. It doesn't matter if she's a fighter, she's a woman, right? You rear naked choke her, put her pretty much to sleep. This is a problem. This is problematic. You can't just do that, right? Like, there's a difference between I'm going to constrain you and I'm going to hold you and I'm going to put the rear naked and I'm not going to actually choke you to sleep. And there's a difference between that and being macho ego. I'm so tough. Let me choke this woman out. Like, I don't know. I feel like something's not right here. What do you think?
100% agree with you, Derek. If chaos is going down, especially as a coach, you're thinking, I got to get my fighter to her actual performance. I got to get her there safe as possible. Things are going down. Let me jump in there, break it up. But if you're willing to lay hands on a female and willing to choke a female out, especially what got me was the comment by the third party, Amanda Hebus' coach, where he says he was cranking on it. He was cranking on the choke. That right there tells me you're just a piece of shit. Because, you're jumping in to stop somebody. You want to hold them there, it's especially being a man, you have the strength advantage to just hold a girl in a rear naked choke. You do not need to put any extra force into it. I get it. You're a little animated. She just maybe attacked your fighter. Maybe there's some back and forth, so you saw it coming. Hopefully not, because then that just tells me it's a little premeditated. Yeah. I don't like this at all, man. Nonetheless, fighting somebody the week of their fight to hopefully not, or maybe possibly have them not win any money, have them all that going forward. I don't like this one bit. I mean, I get it. Shit happens. You got to start swinging on some people when it goes down, but I don't like this one bit. What about you, Derek?